Hello，各位同学，大家晚上好！欢迎大家来到由海归求职网主办的海职 TV， 我是今天的主持人 Raven， 很高兴今天能够和大家继续分享最新的求职资讯。在节目直播期间，欢迎同学们踊跃扫描屏幕上方的二维码，与我们提问互动。我们会现场抽取一些问题，请我们的顾问进行解答。同时，在节目的直播期间，我们还准备了多重精彩大礼，参与提问的同学们还有机会获得投行4大出差必备旅行箱和价值500元的现金求职礼券一份，先到先得哦。众所周知的是 CPA、CMA 和 ACCA 作为当今最热门的3大证书，每年报考的学生数以万计，但是由于其含金量颇高，每年能顺利通过考试的学生却屈指可数。那么面对如此激烈的竞争，为什么还有很多同学愿意挑战自己呢？其实归其原因，都是因为这几张证书背后强大的金钱诱惑力和职场竞争力。为了能够解答各位同学的疑惑，我们特意请来了我们今天的顾问 Aaron。首先来介绍一下我们今天的顾问 Aaron， 来自美国，曾在宝洁等多家大型跨国公司担任过财务经理和财务分析师，有着27年财务经理的工作经验和8年高级金融讲师，目前还是美国康斯威辛州议会的候选人。现在我们将把画面给到 Aaron。Hello Aaron。
Hello， 你好。
Hello，
How are you? Okay, would you like me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, are you seeing my PPTs?
Yeah, I can see your PPT.
Okay, all right. As you said, I'm Aaron Madison. I have a master's degree in accounting, a bachelor's in finance and economics, and I'm a CMA, which is one of the designations, certifications we're going to be talking about today. There are going to be 3, the CMA, the CPA, and the ACCA. Just to give you a little brief background about myself, 27 years as a finance executive at different levels. First in just a low-level cost accountant, and then a controller, and then finally a global financial planner and analyst for a worldwide company. So I've kind of seen the industry at many levels, in different companies, in different settings, big and small. So I have some experience to draw from. Then I left that profession and became a teacher. 8 years teaching as a senior finance lecturer at Dongbei University of Finance and Economics. After 8 years, excuse me, I left that a year ago, and I ran for an office for this year, a political office in my state. I'm in Wisconsin, which is near Chicago. So I'll just continue through. The first part of this, okay, as I said here, first the CMA, which is Certified Management Accountant. It's part of what they call the IMA, the Institute of Management Accountants. When you become a CMA, you join that institute. Same with the CPA, Certified Public Accountant. You become one, and then you join the AICPA. That's the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. The other one is the third one is the ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. Now this is a little different. This is not just a certification. The prior to, you would generally get a degree. In fact, you'd have to have a degree to take the tests for the CMA and the CPA. But the ACCA is almost a degree unto itself. You could choose to become a member of the ACCA instead of a degree. So you're not really comparing a certification in this case. And I'll get more into that. I have a slide for each one of these. But I just want to point out that the CMA and the CPA are certifications, whereas the ACCA is more of a designation. It's almost an accounting degree. And then I'll have a little conclusion at the end. First, I want to talk about why would you even pursue a certification? Why do this? I mean, the obvious answer is that you think it will earn you more money and give you better qualifications, and that's all true. But it's also true that by studying for all of this, you end up reviewing everything that you've taken in accounting and finance. So it's an excellent review. So things that you've forgotten that you took years ago, this will help you bring these back to your memory and to be able to apply them then when you first get a position, a professional position. And I'm also calling this a capstone. It brings all of the courses you took together. When you go through and get a degree, you know, it's 3 or 4 years and it's one course at a time. It's hard to know how these all relate to each other. But by studying for and taking the exam for the certification, it brings all of those together and makes a little more sense to a person, I think. It also shows that you have an additional degree of ability and a dedication to your profession. So when you go looking for a position somewhere, applying for a job, they see this, that you took this CMA and have this designation. It means something to the employer. It means that you're dedicated to this profession and that you're dedicated to working hard and you're able to do this. So it's another indication for the employer, for another way for you to stand out amongst your competition. Again, and as we said earlier, as I said a moment ago, it demonstrates that you do have certain qualifications. You are able to pass this. These are difficult exams. They're very comprehensive. So passing them means that you have qualifications yourself. You have abilities in what you're doing. So it does mean something to an employer to see this on your resume. And again, as I did mention also, it gives you more leverage when you negotiate salaries. In my case, I actually used a formula that the IMA had put out to determine how much you should be paid. It was based on how many years that you were in the profession, what kind of a degree you had, how big the company was, and if you had this CMA certification. And I think the CMA certification back then added about $10,000 to what you should be earning versus someone who did not have that degree. So it gives you, when you go into apply for a job, you should be, I know it's a little difficult the first time, but eventually you'll be negotiating a back and forth with the employer, and this will give you leverage, additional ammunition, if you will, to ask for and receive a higher wage. And lastly, and by no means is this the least important, it is very important, is the networking. This gives you a chance to network. When I say networking, I mean to interact and to meet with people who are also in your profession. In the IMA, there's a website where people go there and ask questions, technical questions that they're having a problem with on their job, and the other members will answer those questions, help you answer those. You'll learn a lot from these other people as you interact, either online or there'll be a yearly meeting for everybody in the country. You'll be able to learn things, and you also will meet people who can help you in your career. I guess the networking is two sides. One is the very technical part that you'll get help with from other people, and the other part is figuring out what you want to do with your career, what options are out there. So each of these, at least the CPA and the CMA, both will give you a network of people that you can be in constant contact with about your current job and about your profession. And that's been really helpful for me to have this people who are knowledgeable and experienced and get their opinion. So those are some very good reasons to do this. So then it comes down to which one. Okay, I'll just, in my opinion, the one you should take is determined by what you want to do and what you like to do. Now that you've had some accounting courses, you should understand the difference between financial accounting and management accounting. The financial obviously is external, reports for external people. The management accounting is internal. So you may not know this yet, which side you like more. So for me, I knew right away that I liked the internal reporting. So I had a job for a few years and I went right away and got the certification for the CMA because I knew that I much more enjoyed working in a company that made things, working with people who were actually involved in the process of making things. Whereas a CPA is generally for auditors or tax people, much more of the traditional financial accounting, which I knew right away. I just personally didn't like that as much, so I took the CMA. It's better for, now there's good and bad for each of these. So in my opinion, the CMA is better for understanding a business and giving the business advice, working with other managers in other departments and giving them advice and understanding how the manufacturing process or the service process is done. So it gets you more into the business side, in my opinion, than the CPA does. It's more mathematically inclined. It's more about figuring out how is the operation, how is the business operating? Is there room for improvement? Do we need more information? And you would be the one who would create that information flow and then make recommendations for change once you received more information. So the reporting can be anything that you believe is relevant to the company you're working for. So in that respect, it's more of a science. It's more mathematical.